Hi everyone, I'm Georgopoulos, the host of the AMFisH fishing vlog series. Doing a video today on leaders. I've been to quite a few fishing shows in my time, and I've heard some people giving advice, whether they're professionals or not. Some of the speakers there were basically saying, in not too many words, don't use leaders with lures. Example. Just going to grab one here. This bait here, don't put leaders on them. The baits don't run the way they're supposed to run with leaders, that kind of stuff. My question's always been, why did they invent leaders? Why did they make leaders? If that's the case, I use leaders with everything. I'm going to bring a bait here in front. Right now, this is just a large bait here. I'm out actually hunting for some musky and big pike. But as you can see, I've got my leader here tied to the bait, and it's a 12-inch leader. This is fluorocarbon, so it's a very thick material, very thick diameter line. It's 80-pound test. But I use leaders on everything. I mean, this is one of my main crankbait rods. I will use a bait that size, but I will also, if I want to switch it, just put on a bait that size on the same rod, same leader. There are instances, and I'll use an example now as soon as I put this rod down. Some baits don't work well with a leader. Example, get this down here, a swim bait. I tie these direct. And why I do that, if I can get this on camera, I've got some good light here, so hopefully I can get this on camera. But as you can see on that O-ring there, basically the ring, I'm talking about the ring on the actual hook, there's also a corkscrew piece that goes into the nose of the bait, little thin wire in there. Between those two, if I tried to squeeze a leader head through there, I'm not going to be successful. And if I am successful, it will not let the bait run true to itself. So in that instance, I'm not going to use a leader. If I'm using soft plastic baits, Texas rigged for bass, I'm not going to use a leader. Those are presentations where, if a big pike does take your jig and pig, for example, or your Texas rig, it happens. It's happened to me. Snaps the line. Just part of fishing. But with baits in general, whether they're crankbaits, spoons, large baits like this, I always use a leader. I've never not caught fish because I'm using a leader, and I've never not had a bait run the way it's supposed to run because I'm using a leader. So this is kind of why I wanted to do, branch off into some of these directions as I do with my videos, passing on some of these things that I've tried and I do. Like I said, I've been using leaders my entire life. I actually started with some of the steel black ones. And then upgraded to some of the fluorocarbon ones. I find that they're more durable, they're a little more pricey per piece. You're looking at about $5-6 a piece, but these leaders, I just check them regularly, make sure they don't have too serious of a ding in them, and they still go. They'll go for a few years before you end up losing one, or before one actually, granted, a fish, depending on the size of the fish, actually tries to bite through it. I mean, I've had pike chewing on the leader itself because they had the bait in their mouth. Shy of a few little ding marks in it, the leaders are still fine. So again, this is why I wanted to take an opportunity to do some of these videos. It's a gorgeous day out here, and I'm hunting for some big pike. I've missed a few on this bait here, actually, on this storm jointed bait. So I'm going to get back to some fishing, but keep that in mind. Use leaders. I don't think anyone is in a position to continuously lose baits because a big fish ate them. And go spend money on buying new baits all the time because you just refuse to put a leader on. Maybe you've read an article that says don't use leaders. Well, again, I'm the AMFisH guy. I'm out here. I'm just telling you, I've been using leaders my entire life. I've got them pretty much on most of the rods that I'm using baits with, and I catch fish. I mean, whether it's a small crankbait, a spoon, or a large bait like this, I still catch fish. And again, goes back to my question: why do we invent them then? If fish are going to be deterred by them, or example, the bait's not going to run correct. I just don't believe in that. I don't think that's the case. Obviously, I'm pretty sure most bait manufacturers would love us going to buy 15, 20 baits a week because we keep losing them because fish keep taking them from us. But at the same time, I'm the guy who's going to go buy those 10, 15 baits anyways because I want to maybe have a better arsenal. I want a few different colors, a few different sizes. So that's just my opinion on that. Again, I wanted to share that info with you guys. Leaders are great. There are going to be other instances where, example, if you're in really clear water, and this is kind of murky tea-colored water, so I'm okay. But if you're in really clear water, sure, a leader, I understand you're not going to want to use it on your crankbaits, you're not going to want to use it on your Texas rig, you're not going to want to use it on anything. You're probably just going to use either fluorocarbon or monofilament line to give you the advantage of having fish not being able to see, question too many things around your bait. But for the most part, most lakes, they're going to have that murkiness to them, depending on where you fish. Put a leader on, save yourself some hassles of losing some of your favorite baits for no reason at all. And I'll leave it at that. I'm going to get back to some casting here, so thanks for tuning in. See you next time.